The town was nestled deep within the mountain's embrace. Its name was barely a whisper on the wind. Time seemed to move differently here. It was as though the town itself was holding its breath. The air was heavy with the scent of pine and damp earth. Above it all loomed the imposing silhouette of Bahayeng Mga Tinig, the House of Voices. Its windows were dark, vacant eyes staring out at the town below. Locals whispered tales of the family that once lived there. They vanished without a trace, their laughter replaced by an unsettling silence. The house stood as a stark reminder of the secrets the mountains held. It was a sentinel guarding the mysteries that lay hidden beneath the fog. No one dared to approach the house, not anymore. Bahayeng Mga Tinig was more than just a house. It was a spectre of wood and stone. Its once bright paint was now peeling, revealing the rot underneath. The roof sagged, threatening to cave in on itself. Each gust of wind seemed to sigh through the broken windows. Or was it a sigh? Some swore they were whispers. Whispers that sent chills down their spines. The house was a monument to fear and forgetfulness. The people of the town avoided it. Their fear was palpable. It hung in the air like the morning mist. The whispers followed them, clinging to their clothes. They dared not speak of the house. To do so was to invite the whispers into their dreams. Mika was different. A young college student, she was drawn to the mystery of the house. Her eyes sparkled with an eagerness that unsettled Thomas. Thomas was a local. He knew the stories. He had seen the fear in his parents' eyes. He had been hired to guide Mika to the house. He had tried to dissuade her, told her the stories. But Mika was not deterred. She was determined to uncover the truth behind the whispers. Her curiosity outweighed her fear. She would soon learn that some secrets are best left buried. They stood before the front door. It creaked open, as if inviting them in. The air inside was stagnant and cold. Dust motes danced in the faint rays of sunlight that pierced the boarded-up windows. Mika stepped inside, her eyes wide with anticipation. Thomas followed hesitantly. He could feel the weight of the house pressing down on him. The air was thick with the silence of the grave. Every footstep echoed through the empty halls. The floorboards groaned beneath their weight. It was as if the house itself was watching them, judging them. Thomas could feel the hairs on the back of his neck stand on end. He wished they had never come. They moved through the house like shadows. Each room was a snapshot of a life interrupted. A child's doll lay abandoned on a dusty floor. A half-finished meal sat rotting on a table. Mika ran her fingers over the surfaces, trying to connect with the past. She felt a chill run down her spine, but she pressed on, drawn deeper into the mystery. A glint of metal caught her eye. She brushed away the dust to reveal a tarnished silver picture frame. It held a photograph of a family. A man, a woman, and a young girl. They were smiling, their eyes full of life. Mika felt a pang of sadness. What had become of them? Mika found a diary tucked beneath a loose floorboard. Its pages were filled with faded ink. The handwriting was frantic, filled with fear. The writer spoke of strange noises, cold spots, and whispers that seemed to come from the walls themselves. Mika's heart pounded in her chest. The words on the page seemed to confirm her suspicions. This house was truly haunted. The temperature dropped. The air grew heavy, making it hard to breathe. The whispers grew louder, swirling around them like a vortex of fear. Then the lights flickered. A blood-curdling scream echoed through the house. Mika and Thomas spun around, their eyes searching the darkness. But there was nothing there. Panic seized Mika. She had to get out. She stumbled back, knocking over a kerosene lamp. Flames erupted, casting grotesque shadows on the walls. The screams grew louder, sharper. They seemed to be coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. Thomas grabbed Mika's hand, his eyes wide with terror. "We have to go! Now!" They didn't need to be told twice. They ran through the burning house, their lungs burning with every breath. The floor tilted beneath their feet. The house was shifting, trying to trap them within its walls. Mika could hear the laughter of children, the mournful cries of a woman. They were surrounded by the unseen. They burst through the front door and into the night. The cool air filled their lungs, a welcome respite from the suffocating heat of the house. They collapsed on the ground, their chests heaving. Behind them, the house stood silhouetted against the flames. The screams had stopped. The whispers were gone. There was only the crackling of fire and the sound of their own ragged breathing. Thomas looked at Mika, his face etched with fear. "We should never have come here," he whispered. Mika could only nod, her eyes fixed on the inferno consuming the house. She had found her answers, but at what cost? Dawn painted the sky in hues of grey and orange. The house was little more than a smoldering ruin. Mika stood before it, her face pale and drawn. She could still hear the screams in her head, feel the phantom touch of cold fingers on her skin. She turned to leave, her footsteps heavy on the ash-covered ground. As she glanced back, she could have sworn she saw a flicker of movement in the ashes. A faint whisper carried on the wind. The ghosts of Bahai Eng Mga were not at rest. They were waiting, and Mika knew with a chilling certainty that she would never truly escape their grasp. She carried the haunting with her, a chilling reminder of the secrets that lie hidden in the shadows.